Hey there, welcome to the first disc review here on Disc Golf Updates. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so feedback is much appreciated. Before we get into the throws and the disc, just some quick info about me to give you a reference point in terms of the throws. I've been playing disc golf for about a year. I'm rated 840 and I can max out at about 380 feet or 120 meters with my throws. And yes, my form is pretty bad, I'm aware of that, but at least I will give you an idea of what you're looking at, as obviously the disc will act more understable if you throw harder or less understable if you throw with less power. The K1 Vass is Kastaplast's newest understable driver, which is supposed to replace the retired Grim, which had a lot of inconsistencies, and that's probably why they retired it. The Vass has 12 speed, 5 glide, minus 1.5 turn and 2 fade. And the wind this day was very inconsistent. There was some side winds and headwind, which is why some of the throws will look different than others. And I measured up all the distances for the throws. I will put those numbers on the screen for each throw. And in the beginning here, you will see 2 throws with my stock run fairly beat in grace, which is my normal go-to driver. As you can see, I get a nice little S turn out of it and throw it around 110 to 115 meters. What I noticed with the Vass compared to the Grace was that I had a bit of trouble actually getting it on that perfect S-flight. Because if I put it on a little bit too much hyzer, it hyzered out like this, but still got some decent distance. And when I threw it flat, it would sometimes overturn, especially in the headwind, whereas my Grace, well, you saw those throws earlier. But when I did get that perfect throw, I got a lot of distance out of it and even beat out some of my Grace throws, as the Vass has a little bit more turn. So I think with some more practice, the Vass might have a spot in my bag, but I really felt like I could rely more on the Grace as it had a little bit less turn and somehow a little bit less fade too, which was a bit strange. But what really surprised me was how well the Vass actually flew on a forehand. I don't usually drive with my forehand, but I was really surprised that I managed to get the Vass to fly over 100 meters on basically the first try. But the main reason why I really wanted the Vass was to have something more flippy than the Grace, especially in tailwind. So I think once it gets a little bit more beat in, it's definitely going to have a spot in my bag. So I'm probably going to throw a lot of extra throws with it after my normal Grace throws to make it beat in, and probably use it for a lot of forehands. Overall, I think the Vass is doing the job it's supposed to do, replace the Grim, and I feel like the numbers are actually accurate this time, as Kastaplast has had some issues with a lot of their discs being a bit too understable compared to the numbers. Anyways, I wanted to keep this review short. If you enjoyed it, consider leaving some feedback below, as this was all filmed on a phone, but I wanted to keep this review short, as I want them to mostly focus on how the discs fly for me, so you get a visual example, and keep them as short and concise as possible. Also, consider heading over to my website, discmerch.com, if you're interested in picking up some unique disc golf apparel. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.